Hello and welcome to 5 for the Future for the week of October 30th. Thanks for joining me for this video summary of my weekly paid newsletter that shares 5 top signals of change that you need to know about in order to future-proof your small business. The newsletter has more details on each topic and a lot more of my take as why these topics stood out to me. But this great video is going to summarize some of the key points for you and for free. So please consider subscribing to the actual newsletter that is chock full of insights and laughs, a lot more than what you get in the video. So I'm still glad you're here, and let's get started with our 5 topics for this week. Let's start with our story number 1, Google activities. That's Google the name, not Google the verb. Google is investing up to $2 billion in ChatGPT competitor Anthropic to better compete against rival Microsoft and its OpenAI investment. And those AI capabilities are coming soon to a new virtual assistant that will access your camera and microphone on your cell phone to be better able to respond to your comments and requests. I am not at all concerned about my data privacy. And in a fun Google story, a restaurant in New York has named itself Thai Food Near Me to ensure it pops up anytime someone does a Google search like that. Quite creative. So are big tech firms like Google monopolistic and in control of everything we do online? Or are they giant bureaucracies just waiting to be toppled by the next big thing? Will Google investing in or acquiring all the AI firms help keep them and all the other big tech firms on top? Or will they destroy the vision, the utopian vision of AI and transform it to meet their nefarious and financially based goals? The answer is yes. And moving on to story number 2, is it real or is it AI? Did you know that there was an AI-powered chatbot called Soulmate that people used to have their own virtual lover if you set the app from friend to lover mode? The app is shutting down and many people are in a panic that they're losing their virtual partners. This feels kind of like a movie to me. Beyond that, several countries are turning to AI news anchorwomen because, and I quote, they are bright, gorgeous, ageless, tireless, and speak multiple languages and are totally under my control. Nothing concerning about that. Side note on AI, AI-generated images are still where our worst stereotypes exist. Not only are people either drop-dead gorgeous or a, and I quote, wrinkled, bug-eyed freak, but images of leaders are nearly all men. Images of prisoners are black. Images of people cleaning homes are all female. You get the idea. Apparently, excluding pornography from the training data set helped some. Can't believe that was a thing they had to think about. But there's still a lot of bias. So beyond the stereotypes, how do we know what's real and what's AI? Apparently, watermarks aren't working, and some companies are trying to add metadata that can help confirm what is real. And other researchers are working on data poisoning that keeps AI models from generating images based on original art. It's all a start, but this AI versus real thing is still a huge concern. How does this all affect your small business? Well, first, you can no longer ignore AI as it's starting to show up everywhere and could impact your business in ways you haven't thought of yet. And next, I expect we'll start to see a greater emphasis on transparency and authenticity, which could very much work in your favor. Start thinking about how to stand out online due to your realness. And with that, let's move on to story number 3, the future population. Some expected changes to the workforce in the next 5 to 10 years and beyond. Boomers are going to save the economy as they spend down their $75 trillion nest egg. That is, except for the boomers who are poor, as the U.S. has a higher elder poverty rate than most developed countries. And 1 in 4 people on the planet by the year 2050 will be African, as birth rates are falling rapidly in richer nations. Think about how this could impact the way we all do business. And perhaps we won't have CEOs in the future? Some argue that decentralized autonomous organizations, or DAOs, will take over and lead to collective decision-making and future-focused activities. Or maybe robots will take over the world and the rich will live in their bunkers. Who's to say? Good thing I'm busy reading all those scary dystopian articles so you don't have to. At least one of us can sleep at night. All right, so moving on to story number 4. Sure, we're all mildly concerned that AI will lead to the destruction of the human race, but why not put it in charge of our mental health anyway? Already, transcripts from virtual therapy sessions are being used to identify burnout among healthcare providers. And Apple's new augmented reality headset, coming soon, can detect levels of anxiety, depression, and stress based on your expressions, and then try to alleviate these issues by displaying images and sounds on your internal virtual reality headset screen. But don't worry, the US government isn't stepping in to intervene in any of this just yet with regulations. I need to stop reading all these articles or my brain might explode. Or tech firms will target me for reprogramming until I believe that their goals are purely to benefit mankind and not to profit their shareholders. All right, and finally, our final story, number 5, futuristic travel. This is much more fun and less dystopian than the other stories. Start with Google co-founder Sergey Brin's air yacht has been approved for flight. These airships serve multi-purposes, delivering aid to remote areas of the world and transporting super rich people around the world so they feel less guilty than flying in their private jets. Other futuristic vehicles include a remote-controlled RV controlled by an onboard iPad and a minivan that can read your brainwaves to create the perfect ambience for your mood as you either drive or ride in self-driving mode. This was meant to be a fun and entertaining topic, but somehow it veered back to big tech and AI taking over our lives. I sense a theme, and it's not solely due to my curated selection of these articles. It's everywhere. Are you paying attention? All right, 2 quick bonus stories. Again, more in the newsletter. First, more men are taking care of their aging parents than ever, but it turns out they struggle with routine details like grocery shopping and meal preparation. Could that be connected to the second bonus story? Working husbands in the US have more leisure time than working wives do, especially among those with children. Maybe if they spent more time shopping and making meals, they'd be better prepared to care for their aging parents. Just saying. All right, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching and joining me this week on 5 for the Future. Another friendly reminder, my paid newsletter offers more details on each of these 5 topics than there's room for in this video. So reach out if you'd like a free copy of the newsletter to help you decide if you want to subscribe. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for joining me this week for 5 for the Future, and I'll see you next week.